Hi you guys, welcome back. So in my last video, we talked about how Tiffany Henyard is being sued by Edgar County watchdogs. And the basis for their suit is that Tiffany Henyard has refused to provide documents requested through FOIA, which is the Freedom of Information Act.
And I tell you, FOIA, a lot of times people don't know, so they just go off of what they heard. Go FOIA the information and learn for yourself, educate yourself.
So I'm going to read this article from Daily Southtown. And it talks about how things went when Tiffany Henyard showed up to court with her attorney. Attorneys for former Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard say they will file an affidavit explaining she does not have records required as part of an ongoing lawsuit.
And y'all asked me for the receipts, but I got the receipts right here on ice, like I always do. Y'all asked for it, and I'm about to deliver.
Henyard was required to appear in court Friday at the Daly Center in Chicago to produce documents requested last year by the nonprofit Edgar County watchdogs that are public via the Freedom of Information Act. Cook County Judge Kate Moreland filed an order holding her in contempt on May 23rd for repeated violations of court orders.
But I want to educate people in my delivery of receipts that y'all thought I didn't have. I always keep my receipts.
Although Henyard was called to testify, Henyard's attorney, Bo Brentley, told Moreland she would not take the stand due to an ongoing federal investigation into possible misconduct during her tenure as Dolton's mayor. So there is an ongoing federal investigation into her misconduct. I'm so surprised. I'm sure you guys are too, right? Brentley confirmed after the hearing he is representing Henyard in the federal investigation. And so this is what Brentley said. She does not have these documents.
I keep receipts, that way I can educate the world.
The one document they're asking for, she doesn't remember what it is. She doesn't possess it. For some reason, I don't believe that she doesn't remember where it is. And I'm going to show you proof of that a little bit later in this video. But let's get to this next part of this article. The Edgar County watchdogs sued Dolton in February of 2024 after failing to receive documents requested the prior month. The lawsuit claims the groups made two separate requests, neither of which received a response from Henyard's office. I know, because we know she's so good about answering emails, right?
Now, let me tell y'all something. Have y'all ever emailed Tiffany? Because, you know, she has never, since she's been the mayor, responded herself to an email. Ever. She didn't even have access because she says she don't like responding to emails.
Attorneys for the Edgar County watchdog said Friday the village helped fulfill the first request, which was copies of all credit card statements since October 1st, 2023. However, they still have not received copy of a document Henyard showed at a January public meeting while stating that the trustees canceled the credit card, stating the document was proof. Okay, so this is another example of Tiffany Henyard sticking her foot in her mouth. All right, so what they're saying is that during the board meeting, Tiffany Henyard waved around a paper saying that the trustees canceled the credit cards. I know some of you guys probably remember that board meeting because towards the end, you know, these board meetings started getting a lot of views and a lot of attention.
Dolton wasn't even known until she became the mayor. And it's not for anything great.
But if you don't remember, I'm going to go ahead and play that clip for you guys. Let's watch.
All right, here we go. Also too, y'all know I'm the receipts lady, right? I always got paper.
Okay, obviously she's just going to start off by trolling, okay? Because when has she ever been known for that? In fact, it's quite the opposite, ma'am. Let's continue and see what other nonsense she has to say.
Paper trail for all of them. They were saying that they credit card that we line. Here's the proof right here. An email stating that they canceled the doggone credit card from the bank.
So we can
I'm gonna give it to all y'all, including the public. But my point to y'all is stop believing the lies. They lie so much up here. It don't make no sense.
All right, so there you have it. We see her just waving this little paper around, you know, saying that it's proof that the trustees canceled the credit card. Okay, so now let's see what the recent news is saying about Tiffany Henyard, her going to court, and about this little document that she was just waving around as proof.
Tiffany Henyard, former Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor, takes the fifth rather than testify in court today.
Today, Tiffany Henyard's appearance in court was pretty quick and easy. She was
ordered to come to court, I should say, in person after being found in contempt for not following state transparency laws and submitting records during her time in office.
I have my own evidence of things that people have done or is doing, and when I put it out, you're gonna be like, dang, I wish I would have gave that young lady a chance. Man, I wish I would have heard another side or a different perspective. In the end, I will come out smelling like roses. Roses really smell like and you will see it for what it is.
As you mentioned, instead of testifying today, her attorney pled the fifth on the former mayor's behalf. Tiffany, do you have any thoughts about being in court today, being ordered to come to court?
In the next week or two, you will hear myself speak to anything anyone has spoken about me, anything anyone has put out there, because it's facts over fiction for me. So I will state facts, I will show receipts.
We don't have any comment right now.
Friday's hearing focused on a lawsuit filed by the public interest group Edgar County Watchdogs. The organization sued the village of Dolton after Henyard's administration ignored Freedom of Information Act requests last January, seeking spending and other records. Her attorney, Bo Brinley, says Henyard doesn't have them.
She has no idea what that document was. She's going back to some board meeting where they say she held up a single piece of paper. I don't know how and could expect her to remember what that was, given how many meetings there have been and how much chaos there was in Dolton.
Yeah, chaos caused by your client, okay? And look at these lawyers. They are taking themselves way too seriously. I mean, they cannot be proud of themselves representing her. She got a little smirk and a smile. You can just see she just loves the attention. It doesn't matter what type of attention. We already know that. She loves it. So he's really going to go with this, that she has no idea what they're talking about. Well, it was already pointed out what board meeting it is. So let me refresh their memory and everyone else's once again.
They were saying that they credit card that we line. Here's the proof right here, an email stating that they canceled the doggone credit card from the bank. Don't worry about it. Give it to all y'all, including the public. But my point to y'all is stop believing the lies. They lie so much up here. It don't make no sense.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call projection. And in psychology, projection is a defense mechanism where an individual attributes their own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, or behaviors to others. And it's a way of avoiding responsibility for one's own actions or emotions by projecting them onto someone else. And obviously, it's one of Tiffany Henyard's greatest pastimes because she has mastered this art of projection.
Like I said, every night I got to prove my love. Every night I got to show y'all what it is. It's sad. They lie because they can't beat me. I keep telling you, they trying to run a campaign on lies. Ain't gonna get you nowhere. She
does it all the time. You see her when she's going off on her rants and her grandstanding. She's literally projecting everything she's doing and her behaviors onto other people.
I'm still building it while y'all trying to tear it down. How does that look? We could at least look like one band, one sound as we move up here on the board like they do in the other communities. They fight all day long in the back, but when they get up here, they act like they all get along. We can do the same thing. If people stop trying to act like they me, trustee house. But yet people got to do a spin of what they think it is, but don't ask no legitimate questions. Again, if you had a problem with them not giving you something, you could have just said it. That's it. I am your leader. I am the one that won by 82%. I am the one that carry you, trustee Jason House, you, Kiana Belcher, that never wins anything, over the hump. That's why you guys have your seats that you have before you.
That's why when you listen and look at her, you're like, what the heck is she talking about? Like, you're literally doing the same thing that you're accusing other people of doing, and worse. And we'll do it right in front of your face and act like she's not doing it. I mean, I just can't. I can't sometimes, because you guys, you know what, I'm at a point in my life where I'm too old to be dealing with grown people throwing tantrums, and people who are like Tiffany Henyard. You know, we run into these people in our everyday lives who don't take accountability for things. They always project their behaviors on other people, and it's just exhausting to deal with people like that. That's why when I identify those type of people, I just steer clear of them. I'm okay with talking about the drama with Tiffany Henyard and all that, but I'm not okay with living that type of stuff in real life. You know, life is just too short to let toxic people influence your life. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you guys feel me down in the comments. If you're dealing with someone toxic, just don't give them your energy, okay? Just avoid them at all costs, all right? And if it's your boss or someone, Go above them, because believe me, there's always someone above that person. Now, if you've already exhausted the chain of command and you're still having to deal with a toxic workplace environment, just quit. I mean, find another job first. Get your resume together, get things together so that way you feel a little bit more secure about going somewhere else. And I know, it's easier said than done. People have bills to pay. The rent is sky high. It's just some food for thought. You guys, let me know how you feel about that down in the comments. But let's get back to this, because I felt like I went on a whole rant.
During court, Henyard was asked to testify, but with an ongoing FBI investigation looking into questionable spending and claims that she used her government power to retaliate against people she perceived as opponents during her time as Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor, Brindley advised her to plead the Fifth.
I think that's what anybody that's smart and reasonable and has a lawyer is going to do under these circumstances. She's not a public figure anymore. She's not in office, and she has every right to exercise her rights under the Constitution to protect herself.
Court documents say Henyard refused to respond to emails from last fall from Dolton Council requesting records in response to the FOIA request.
The watchdogs were looking for something pretty simple, which were some credit card bills. All my clients wanted, all the public deserved, was to be able to look at what she was waving around that said that was canceled.
With no documents in hand, Henyard's counsel was permitted by the judge to file an affidavit.
She doesn't have it. All we have to do is advise them with an affidavit. The judge has agreed that that's fine, and we'll do it immediately.
Eventually, I think the people of Dolton asked the mayor to stop when they elected someone else, which was her real defense today, which is that she got out of this by losing an election.
Okay, let's continue reading this article, and this next part is from the Edgar County Watchdog's lawyer. And it says, "We don't believe that someone can just burn a piece of paper or get rid of ... the document." And I think what they're talking about is, even if someone burns a physical piece of paper, if it came from an email, there's always an email trail. So I think that's what they're getting at there. But that reminds me of something that Dr. Nikita Cloud mentioned one time during one of the Tea with the Trustees events. Let's watch.
Her administrator, let me be real clear, Keith D. Freeman, is even worse. I had proof that they told us to not come to the board meeting for the trustees. I had proof. He emailed us and said, if we came to the board meeting, because the board meeting was slipped and mixed in, we would be fired immediately. He went into my email and wiped it. I only had, when I quit, 20 emails between the two of us. And if I'm the chief of staff and he the village administrator, we talk a lot, right? He wiped it.
So yeah, Keith Freeman, I'm so glad they are done with him, because even though, it looked like he turned himself around and he was working with the trustees, it was really a forced decision. He wouldn't just voluntarily give up all that money he was making while working side by side with Tiffany Henyard. It was a forced decision and forced him into whistleblower status. You guys, excuse me, I have a hard time saying whistle, to whistleblower status. And that kind of explains why it took so long to get rid of him. At least that's what I heard. All right, let's continue. And it says, and the watchdogs aren't going to stop until they get it. Attorney Edward Coach Winehouse said after the hearing. Judge Moreland affirmed Friday that Henyard would be fined $1,000 per day as of May 30th until she produced the records responsive to the group's request or filed the affidavit. Her attorney, Bo Brindley, said the affidavit would be filed by Monday. So basically the rest of the article just, is her lawyer saying that she doesn't know what it is. It happened like a year ago, and that since she's been out of office now, it's a little unfair. He also, mentions that them going through the trouble and holding her in contempt and everything else is just silly. Holding someone that was in government accountable for the job that they're supposed to do is silly. Now, of course, she wasn't the FOIA officer or whatever, but Keith Freeman was head of her administrative staff, and he played a major part in blocking those FOIA requests. And I'm pretty sure she knew what was going on. Okay, so let's move on to the next portion of this video. Now, after she got out of court and after pleading the Fifth, Tiffany decides to go on Facebook naturally, okay, and just talk a bunch of randomness. Let's go ahead and watch a little bit and then I'll chime back in.
Hey guys, it's your favorite super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor, people's supervisor. Yes, I'm still gonna coin my name. But I just want to say thank you to all that support me. Thank you for the love. And then stay tuned, because guess what? My book is coming out, and I will be doing a book tour soon. So those that like to keep up with your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, stay tuned for that, because I got a lot to say, because I've been kind of quiet, you know, like quiet. Y'all know I'm not a quiet person, but I do want to tell my story. Y'all see me steady going through this battle, this uphill battle with all these haters and all these people that just want to see a person like down on their luck. That ain't what I do. I share love and uplift people and inspire people.
Y'all making a fictitious play world of y'all run stuff and y'all don't. Stop.
That ain't what I do. I share love.
Know your place. Learn your seat. And that's the problem y'all got. Y'all overstep. Y'all have to know what to do, and y'all don't. That's why y'all keep losing.
Uplift people and inspire people.
Why I gotta have all this controversy? Why I gotta have all this back and forth with my board? For what? When I put you in your seat, trustee house, trustee Belcher, never would have been a trustee. I the one made it possible for you guys to sit where you are now. And all I want to do is help the people. That's it.
So all these haters and all these people that just want to see a person like down on their luck, that ain't what I do.
And on that note, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, department heads, the chief of police, public works, Janice Johnson, everybody who helped me throughout this time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Trustee, I got your picture for you. I'll bring it down for you, but I'm going to sing this song for you. It's a farewell. I appreciate you. And anybody can join in that knows this song. It goes like this. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye.
That ain't what I do. I share love.
And then you, trustee house, that would never won if you ran.
That's what y'all should be doing. That's what y'all should be doing, but y'all ain't doing that. Y'all stay trying to just take people out. Like, let people be great. Let people live their life. Like, at the end of the day, been there, done that.
Learn the laws. I tell y'all that all the time. Learn from me. But because I'm younger than all y'all think y'all can't learn from me, huh?
Yes, I was the first. You will never touch that. That's my history. I was the first super mayor, and that is my name. I coined that.
Y'all didn't run for my seat. I ran. Won by a landslide. Let me remind you, 82%. For those that don't know, please put some respect on my name. And when I became your mayor, again, the first African-American female mayor here in the village of Dolton, making history. When y'all do know I am the first. I'm the first youngest female mayor. Female, to what I'm saying. When I sit here and come up with ideas for the village, it's at the head, the leader. The leader dictates what goes on as it relates to her vision. When you ran on my ticket, you followed my vision.
So yeah. Before we go a little further into this video, you guys, if you're new here and like what you hear, please hit that like button for me. And if you're a returning subscriber, please remember to leave it a like as well. Also, hitting that notification bell will keep you guys updated on any new videos that I put out. Whichever one of those you choose to do, or all of them, it's really going to help my channel out. All right, let's continue on with this video because I have some really good clips in here for you guys from her outside the courthouse and going back to her trustee days for some comparisons. Let's continue.
So I did that, and now on to the next. Bigger and better things are coming to Tiffany Henyard. And I'll give a special shout out to baby Justice. I love you, Justice. Justice got a book coming out as well. So stay tuned so y'all can hear about my little bundle of joy, Miss Justice. Because that's what I fight for, justice always. And that's why I named her Justice, for those that don't know that story. But I write that in the book as well.
You guys, first of all, why does her daughter need a book? Okay. It's obviously not going to be written from her daughter. Her daughter's like 6 years old. And then so about what she says, in case y'all don't know, I named her baby Justice because I like to fight for justice. All y'all who don't know that story, I'll put it in there as well. It's not like an out of this world, one of a kind story. She acts like it's an extraordinary story and that no one has ever named their child Justice before. I mean, come on. But if you guys want to know the story behind it, let me go ahead and play this little clip. It'll pretty much sum it up and you don't have to buy her book.
Special events trustee Henyard.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I feel so good to be back. You guys, I was out on maternity leave for the last month or so. I had a healthy baby girl. So thank you guys.
All right, thank you, trustee Henyard. What's the baby's name?
Just like her mama, Justice.
No comment. did hear you say she was nice and healthy, so
Yes.
that's the important thing.
Definitely.
Okay, old business.
So as you can see, the mayor couldn't help but laugh when she said just like her mama, because like, what justice are you fighting for, woman? That's probably what he was thinking, because all she did was cause havoc, argue with the mayor, go back and forth with the other trustees. I mean, she was just as bad then with her attitude and her inability to, work with the team. And I've done multiple videos on this channel showing examples of how just unbearable she was as a trustee. And that's why the same question usually comes up. How did this woman become mayor? Why did people vote for her? And you guys, it's not that easy. Stuff just doesn't happen overnight. And she was able to convince some people, a lot of people were not on her side, but her trustee team that ran with her, Kiana Belcher, Clerk Key, Jason House, they actually went out and campaigned and convinced some of those people to vote for Tiffany. Why she's always saying this.
How you dare backstab me, you trustee Belcher #1 that lost 3 seats, never won nothing. And then you trustee House that would never won if you ran. So my problem with both of y'all was on my ticket. And know that I'm going to campaign hard. Y'all know that because I made sure y'all won y'all seats.
The real truth is, if it wasn't for them, she would have never been in the mayor's position.
Talk about, when she says they ran on the ticket.
Yeah,
I got all y'all over. I got y'all to win because of me.
So we did run on her ticket. So yes, that's not a statement that is not true. We did run on the ticket. We went all together. But we did a lot of knocking on doors begging people to vote for her because they wasn't sold with how she came off and portrayed herself as a trustee. So when she said we won because of her, I kind of think it's unfair because a lot of that push was because we all took in knocking on doors and begging people to vote for her that wasn't happy with her.
Hi, I'm Kiana Belcher, and I am candidate for trustee of the Village of Dolton. And I'm a part of Tiffany Henyard for mayor and the Dream Team. Also, I am part of making change for the Village of Dolton with helping with new businesses and housing. On February 23rd, vote for me, Kiana Belcher for trustee, Punch 11. Thank you in advance for your vote.
Hi, I'm Allison Key, candidate for clerk for the Village of Dolton. I am committed to transparency and an open door policy. I am part of the Tiffany Henyard for Mayor Dream Team. So on February 23rd, punch 5 for me, Allison Key, your future clerk in the Village of Dolton. Thank you and have a great day.
Hi, my name is Jason House and I'm a candidate seeking re-election to the office of trustee in the Village of Dolton, working with mayoral candidate Tiffany Henyard and her Dream Team. Hi, I am trustee Jason House for the Village of Dolton, and I'm here to give my support and endorsement for trustee Tiffany Henyard, who is the Democratic nominee for the mayor in the Village of Dolton. So everybody, please join me by punching 1 for Tiffany Henyard on April 6th to be your next mayor in the Village of Dolton.
So as we can see, they went out, they campaigned, they did the work, they endorsed her, a decision that yes, they do regret, but hey, you have to go through things to learn, right? So unfortunately, Dolton had to go through this whole Tiffany Henyard era to learn that you need to pay more attention to the people that you're voting for. You need to do some research, especially since the research to be done was there right in front of their faces the whole time. If more of the Dolton residents who are voters would have went back and watched those Board of Trustees meetings, that would have given them the insight on what type of person she really was, because she didn't hide it as a trustee. I mean, there were some board meetings where she tried to be professional and she tried to sound and she tried to be mature about things, but the majority of the time she acted like a child, okay? And when she didn't get her way, she would scream, she would yell.
I don't care if they like me or not. I'm still gonna speak on what I need to speak on. Now, if I'm a roll with it, I'm a roll with it. If I'm not, I'm not. So that's all I asked of her. I call everybody up here. No one picks up my call. I call you, trustee. I reached out because I said you should hear both sides. Don't just listen to one side. If they tell you something, it's like they brainwash you. They telling you something and then you just roll with it, but you don't hear my side. So when I have something on the agenda, I'm talking about the agenda. I'm not talking like we finna be girlfriends, let's go out. I'm talking, okay, I got 4 items on the agenda. Can we sit down like ladies and discuss it?
Yes, this is the person I definitely want to sit down and have a reasonable conversation with, because she's obviously in control of her emotions. She's very articulate. And she's talking about this trustee right here, Trustee Denton, who is a very sweet lady, but she's calling her out at the board meetings saying, you don't answer your phone. And that's the famous thing, right? No one answers her phone calls because this is how she acts. But you can't reason with crazy, you can't reason with hardhead, so what do? Just move on. All right, now let's get back to Tiffany Henyard and her little Facebook rant outside the courthouse, because there was something she said that caught my attention. I'm gonna play it and then I will let you guys know how I feel about it.
And to my wonderful parents, Mrs. and Mr. Henyard, yeah. Y'all stay tuned because he got like a little goat coming out. You gonna get the goat for Rome real soon, so stay tuned, Mr. Henyard. He likes to stay on that grill. For those that haven't had goat before, it's really good, spicy. That will be coming out as well.
So did you guys catch that? She mentioned something about her dad liking to grill.
So stay tuned, Mr. Henyard. He likes to stay on that grill.
And I believe she's talking about grilled goat.
For those that haven't had goat before, it's really good, spicy. That will be coming out as well.
I feel like she's mentioning this and throwing this out there in preparation for her defense of what was going on, on that barbecue that fateful night. If you guys don't know, there was this mysterious fire. Somebody was burning something in the back of the Rock Island car wash, and that's a car wash that Tiffany's boyfriend, said he owned or whatever, but turns out he was never the actual owner on the papers, and it's a whole thing. I feel like she's mentioning this because of the accusations that they were burning evidence back there that night. And you guys, I did make a video on this if you want to check that video out after this. And there were a lot of other videos made on this because it was really weird, and there was definite speculation that they were burning evidence. I don't know, but if you guys want to check the original video out, go ahead to this YouTuber's channel, Crook County, and go ahead and watch it over there. It's the whole video, and then it even shows him going in the morning to see the aftermath of that fire. So once again, like I said, I feel like she's trying to get herself on tape talking about grilling and stuff. This is something we've never heard her talk about, you guys. I don't know. I've never heard her mention her dad liking to grill. But if you guys have ever heard her talk about that, let me know down in the comments. But this is the first time I've ever heard her talk about it, and she's trying to make it sound like it's a passion of his. Do you feel like she's making these random statements in preparation for her defense about what happened that night at the Rock Island car wash? Yeah, that's what I feel. All right, let me know your thoughts down below. And that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave it a like. And if you're new here, subscribe.